Hello, gentlefolk. I don't know why I said that, but gentlefolk you are. I was going to do a really simple colour wheel, colour theory, bit of jiggery pokery. However, I went to get my colour wheel and I realised I'd made a rookie error in that I had left my colour wheel. I don't know if you can see, I'd left it in the sun where the sun could get it. So, well, you can see there, look, that's the colour it should be, that's the colour it's gone. So my colour wheel has gone, you can see a little thin line around there of the colours it's supposed to be. So as I say, I made a rookie error, like a fool, left my colour wheel. Look at that, I mean look at this colour, look at that, can you see that? Can you see that little line of green there? Can you see that? That's the colour it's supposed to be, the little thin line. The little thin line there is what the colour it's supposed to be. And that's the colour it is. Because I left it in the sun. Because I'm a fool. The other side's not so bad. So I can tell you about some bits and bobs on that. But even that, as you can see, has been somewhat cruelly treated by the sunshine. But you know, it's good enough. I can give you an idea. So at least the yellow green isn't like sage or whatever colour it is on the other side. The blue green has faded somewhat. In fact, the blues generally are a bit. But yeah. Anyway, so. But I can use this to illustrate some stuff. But I thought probably the easiest way of fixing it would be to make a quick colour wheel. She says, like it's going to be that quick. So, for a colour wheel, I've separated this up because I just wanted to get it right for you guys. But you can do it any way you want. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be a wheel if you want. It's just a wheel is easier because obviously it's round and you can see the relationships quite quickly and quite easily. Some people do it in strips of colour. But for all you need for this, 3 colours. I'm going to do it with pencils today, just because why not? No real reason. It's usually done with paint, but heck, why make it easy for myself? And I'm not even sure these colours are particularly good for it. So I've got Inktense sea blue, because the only other blue they've got there is either really, really dark, and it's an indigo blue, or it's really tealy, which is no good because it's got too much green in it. This is the most blue that I have in the set that I have. I'm sure if you had the bigger set, you'd probably have other blues. What is this yellow? Sun yellow, which is probably the only yellow in the packet. Not just the best yellow, but the only yellow, which I think for a basic 12 set is not ideal. But what can you do? You might want to use, so this one you probably want to use, I suppose you could use a processed cyan, or, I mean, really you can make your own wheel. If there's a particular set of colours or a particular red you like, particular blue, particular yellow you like, you'd make your own colour wheel in your own way. So because it's just to give you an idea of the associations between the colours rather than actually the, you know, it's not the end of the world if you don't have a particular blue or a particular yellow or a particular red. Obviously primary red goes without saying is primary red. Unfortunately primary red in different brands of course is slightly different, so up to you. This one is poppy red rather than primary red because that's the only actually red that it has. Don't use vermilion, or at least I wouldn't advise using vermilion if you're going to do this yourself, because vermilion is significantly orangey. Use probably scarlet is your best bet if you're going to go for something like that. Scarlet, or as I say, primary red. There's some of the paint manufacturers do primary, I think colours are called primary. But as I said before, use your favourite shade of blue, favourite shade of yellow, favourite shade of red. They've just got to be definitely yellow, blue, red, rather than bluey green or yellowy orange or purpley red, or, you know, try and get them as basic as you can. So here we have our colour wheel. I say colour wheel, I've made a sort of star shape here, but you don't have, as I say, you don't have to do it this organised. Red is my favourite primary colour, so I'm going to start with red here. So I'm going to make this nice, because this is the primary version of it. I'm going to make it nice and thick because I can, and I really like red. Now the thing with the Inktense is you can actually mix these with water to get like a bright. I think I might just do this with a pencil just to see how it goes. So got your red. I've just marked a little P there, which you probably can't see, just so that I know where I'm going. But what you can do is just in thirds. So I've made I mean, normally you just make like a 6 for a colour wheel, but this one I've done 12 because I kind of want to show you the progression. That's just to aid me rather than to. It's not the law. And we're going to have blue over here because why not? But you can have blue on the other side if you prefer, depending. Nice deep blue. Quite dark blue, this one. I'm not sure if this is ideal, but hey. Make that a little bit darker there. And then we got yellow, which probably won't show up very well on this because yellow on white tends not to show up brilliantly. Sorry about the wrist brace I've got. Well, it's not really a wrist brace, it's actually a thumb brace. I've got an issue with my thumb, so unfortunately it's for pinching motions, which is not ideal. Right, so you've got your primaries, red, blue, yellow, or red, yellow, blue if you want it, or blue, whatever, whichever way you want it. And I've left 3 between each one. So what that means is, so in this one, I'm going to make secondary colours. So, I hope you know what the secondary colours are. If not, you got a mixture of red and blue, purple, or in this case, violet. It's actually violet. Purple is complicated, but yeah, violet. So you got blue, violet, red, orange, yellow, green, and then it goes round again. So we got. I'm going to do this fairly lightly to start with, because I must admit I haven't actually checked how these blend. So wish me luck, guys. So I'm hoping that it'll at least work visually, even if it's not perfect. Getting on the screen. I'm getting a bit of a splodge. Getting a bit of a splodge on the screen. I don't know if it'll work. What does it say? Not sure about this. This may not have been the best way of doing this. Theoretically, this should be violet. It's kind of coming up. Slightly worried that the blue shade, the sea blue, has got too much green in it because it's coming up a bit brownish, and I'm not happy with that. Well, it should be purpley. Anyway, right. So let's pretend that worked. I'll come back to it. I might work in a minute. Right, so let's have yellow. I've got yellow on this side. So this should work a bit better. because this looks more like a yellow, red. Oh yeah, that's better. You can see that's coming up a nice orangey colour. On the plus side, when I mix the blue with the see, this is, it's coming up quite dark. I don't know what that is. Right, okay, and so we've got, well, that's sort of orangey. You can see that's an orangey colour. And then we've got the last but not least. You have your green, which hopefully will come out right. Yay! It's coming out quite greeny. That's good. It's good. I like it. I like it a lot. A bit more yellow on that, just because it's going a bit bluish. That's better. Okay, so you've got a sort of greenish colour there, which is quite nice. So now the idea of this bit is, so you've got your primaries, where's my pencil? Primaries, can you even see that? No. Primary colour, primary colour here, and a primary colour here, and then you've got secondary colours here. Can you see that? Yeah. Colours here, secondary colours there, and secondary colours there. And then what you have in these areas here are things called tertiary colours. So that basically means the third colour. So it's basically, so you've got your orange and your red, and then you mix the orange and the red. So basically this will be quite a lot of red and very little orange and very little yellow. So there's your red, which is why I'm putting the darker colour down this time first rather than the lighter colour. And then a little bit of yellow. So this will be a sort of vermilion-y colour, so it'll be a yellowy red rather than an orange or a yellowy orange. Try again. Reddish orange rather than a little bit more yellow in. So ow. Sorry. Be careful. Ow. A little bit more red on the side because. And a really nice colour. I mean, I've seen some really beautiful colour wheels people have made. This is not going to be beautiful. This is going to be okay. So you can see it's a kind of coming out as a sort of, it's reddish, but it's definitely orange, you know? And actually, I could probably do with having a little bit more red on it anyway, because it's just in there. Just give it a little gentle redding. So, and then this one will be a yellowy orange. So as you can see, there's a little bit of a red still left where I was blending in earlier. Anyway, so and then a very light bit of orange on it, a very light bit of red on it, just to make it a little bit red, a little bit orangey, a little bit orangey, make it a little bit orangey, a bit more yellow, so it's all blended in a bit. She says. You can see there's a definite red through to orangey, to orange. This one's just not right. It's just gone all liney. Don't like it. Does not approve. Mother does not approve. Make this one stronger as well. A bit more blended in. Yeah. It's a bit better. Yeah, so you got that, and then obviously the same process through the other ones. So this one, it will be more red than blue, so nice Nice strong red in there. Strong. Oop, a bit mad with the blue there. Already got mad with the blue. The idea of this one is to make a violet with this significantly red. A bit more red on the red. That's how that looks on the camera. Bit liney. Bit liney. Gently, Bentley. It's my own fault I've made it liney because I've done it with this particular way of doing it. Right, and then this one, put the blue on first because this is a blue with a touch of red. That's a reddy violet, this one. Theoretically, but I think this one does have too much green in it, that's why it's gone sort of manky colour. So note to self, next time get it. Right, so we got somewhere, but I got distracted, so coming back to this at a later moment. So yeah, it's a tertiary, so we're looking at dark blue here, dark blue, the darkest of the dark blues. Not sure about this blue, I'm really not. Then a little bit of yellow. So it's a greeny blue or bluey green. Putting some yellow over here, getting some tertiary power going on here. Yes, blue definitely mixes better with the green than it does with the red. I'm going to regret having taken my brace off my wrist, aren't I? Get some more yellow in there. Make it a yellowy green. Or a greeny yellow, depending on how you look at these things. Is the green yellowy or is the yellow greeny? Who knows, man? Who knows? It looks pretty good on my monitor, but this is still bugging me. I feel like I should be able to make it look more violety. It should be looking more violet. Should be looking more violent, not violent. More violet. Violet. You've turned. No, I don't put the yellow in by accident. Nightmare. Blue, blue. Right, so we've got the colours worked out here as best as I can. But you can see the principle of the thing, and that's the important thing. You can see, go around, he pretty. Well, it's obviously different from the one that they did because they went that way, and I went that way. I went counterclockwise, or widdershins. Yeah, so this one's quite a nice little one because it shows you what it'd look like if you add different colours. It's what's actually useful is knowing what. So the hue is the colour itself. Tint is colour plus white. So I don't know if you can see. Colour plus white. A tone is colour plus grey, and a shade is colour plus black. So for example, so I've got a black pencil here. This is black, isn't it? Yep, ink black. So if I start, so if I have, I'm just going to do this with the primaries, otherwise we'll be here all day. she says, having got green in, having got yellow into that. So I'm going to put a bit of blue down there, a bit of red down here. Obviously it's hardest to do with pencils because it's quite hard to get decent grey and a great decent white pencil, though I do have, actually I've got some white pencils I could use. So for example this, and I'm gonna shade it by adding black. So I'm not gonna add a massive amount, just gonna add a little. It's like I have no choice as to the amount I add. It's gonna add whatever it adds. It does take out a lot of the intensity of the colour as well, sort of really dulls it down, I find. So you lose a lot of the nice, the oomph. I'm gonna put a bit more yellow on that. I'm not blending it very well. I don't tend to use pencils. I just fancy doing it to see what it would look like. So this is a shade. Because I don't want to lose the colour really, but just giving you an idea of how it would look as a shade. I'm sure someone who uses pencils regularly is looking at this and going, oh my god, what have you done? But obviously if I was doing a drawing, I'd be a bit more careful about it, but this is conceptual, man. I'm just showing you the concept. Right, so what I'm going to do, since I do have white pencils, I'm just going to I'm going to do a shade and a tint. Obviously the yellow is going to go very, very pale. You're going to have trouble seeing that. So shall I use the China graph or shall I use the Polychromos? I think I'm using the Polychromos. It's a little bit softer. It tends to go on a bit easier than the China graph one. Or does it? Mind you, it's two different kinds of pencils, so it's going to be tricky. Because I say the Inktense is De La Rowney. No, sorry, I lie. Derwent. I'm such a naughty girl. Derwent, not Derwent. And then the one on there. And Polychromos, of course, is Faber-Castell, so they may not mix massively well. Yeah, this is not going down very well. Maybe I should have done half and half. It's working well as a blending pencil, but it's not working very well as a... It's taken some of the colour out. I'm going to go try with the red. That's the red on its own there. Laying it on a bit thick there, probably. That's probably what the problem is. I'm going to use a bit of black, just a little bit of black. She says using a hecton of black, and then a little bit of white as well, which is not going to come out very well, I feel. I've not done this very well. Yeah, I don't think the Inktense and the Polychromos want to mix very much. I'll be honest with you. That's not too bad. It just shows you, as I say, gives you the impression of what I'm trying to do here. Don't put blue on where the yellow is. And this is why I don't do colouring in, because I get overexcited and I put things in the wrong places. A little bit of. See if we can do it gently this time. That's a bit better. That's a bit better. Always handy to have an extra piece of paper on you, or use the corner of your paper. And this is a tone. Not particularly convinced by this as an idea, I'll be honest with you. But you can see it looks different from each one, looks different. There's different values. Do we not all have different values though? Not entirely sure. I assume I've made it gone weird. So basically you can make yourself a little colour chart. You can add in bits like, say you wanted to have the green, so we'll make it green. You see that? I'll move it up a little bit. There you go. Make the green. But see what it looks like if you add it red as well. You can do that. So you get in the green, and we all know what should happen. But that doesn't mean that necessarily is what will happen, because colour sometimes doesn't work like that. Makes a passable brown. What do you reckon? And obviously the more of the third colour you add in, the more the brownier it's going to be, until it starts going into like the purples again. It was a weirdly intense colour, strange colour. Right, so sorry about that. So it appears that was a bit out of what do you call it? A bit out of focus. I just want to test something for my own, because the Inktense are water soluble. I want to see if I can get these bad boys to mix any better. So for example, this colour, which is bugging me like nobody's business. Let's see if I can get. It looks like maroon. This is not violet. In my mind, this is not violet. Actually, I'm going to get a bigger brush because that's just taking too much freaking time. I need a big brush. Where are you, big brush? You'll do. I'm not going to do the whole thing, obviously, because I quite like the pencil look. Well, it's a bit kind of heading violet-y colour. Violet-y direction there. This is not got much red in it, that one. This one has not got much blue in it. Okay. Wow, that really does bring out those colours there. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Whoa! That was brighter than I was expecting. Wow. That's cray. Sorry. Oh, look at that. That's nice. That's a nice green. I like that. Moist. Yeah. Lime. Yeah, so that's bright. That is very bright. Unexpected item in the coloured area. OMG. What is this? You know, the problem I have if I put water on these is the black is water soluble, the white I think is not. So yeah, no, it's the Polychromos, so it's not water soluble, so it may not work. I'm going to have a look at these ones. I don't know why I've done it like this. It appears to have done a weird thing. Oh well, I'll do this one. Just to really mess with people who find that messable. Put some more of the red over there. Actually, I may just. That's interesting. It's kind of maroony. This is a red. Yeah, that is quite a vibrant red actually. So that does have an effect. That's good. Nice bright yellow. Yep. Let's see if this sea blue isn't a bit greeny. I suspect it may be a bit greeny. Put it over here where it hasn't touched the green. No, that's pretty bright blue. Right, so let's have a look. See if this. Well, the shade looks pretty good. Yeah, that's shaded it nicely. Let's try the Polychromos. See if the white works with it. The red is going liquid, the white isn't really, which is not really surprising. What happens here? That's an interesting effect. It's definitely different from that and that. It's a weird sort of dusty colour. It's not too bad. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, nice little dirty. Not in a fun way. Mucky yellow. I'll put it down the same side as the. For those of you who get head up about things matching, I'm really sorry. This is not intentionally to annoy you, it's just not my brain. My brain's very good at seeing patterns, which means I tend to be a bit anti-pattern when I do things. So I apologise. Well, actually, that's not true. I'm either anti-pattern or very, very intense about getting the pattern right. There is nothing in between. There's like, everything must not match, or everything must match exactly. There is no in between. Interesting. Well, but you can see. Yeah, so you can see that's. But you can also see that the white's not coming. That even though the white does have an effect, it's not really. It's almost like a background on this. Let's have a look and see what this one's doing. Yeah, it's sort of a manky green. So anyway, so you can see the idea of the colour wheel. So we've got the primaries, which we see there, primary, tertiary. So this one's adding complementary. So the other thing I didn't say is that the colours opposite on the colour wheel, so in this case red and green, blue, orange, blue, green and red, orange, they're opposites on the colour wheel, which actually there's two different ways of saying it. So depending on who you talk to, it's either contrasting. So if you want like really something to mess with your mind, you'll get two contrasting. They're also called complementary because they bring out the full force of each one, I think. So this is adding complementary colour. And hope I can spell. And then you got the primary colour, like primary school, meaning the first. Secondary colour for the same reasons, secondary colour. And tertiary, which is basically the in-between colours. I'm going to put it there. And then you've got the shade, the shad. You've got the shad. What is it again? Shad, the tint and the tone. The shad, the tint, and the tone. So this is plus black. You don't have to do it like this, by the way. Plus white, and plus grey. And yeah, so that's it really. The other thing you can do is there are different ways of choosing your colours. So for example, if you choose 3 equally spaced colours to make composition with, that is called the triad. So you got the complementaries, split complementary. So if you had a split complementary, I might choose the orange, and then with that I'd use the blue green and the blue violet. So it's basically you go down, and it's not the one directly opposite, it's the 2 next to that. If you're doing the triad, obviously it's 3 equally spaced along there, so any 3 equally spaced along. If you're doing the tetrad, that's 4 of any tone. So basically a square shape. So it'd be those 2. So it'd be that. No, that's not right. That. Well, basically there's 12 there, and if you choose 4 of them, if they're along the same side, then they would be analogous. So yeah, so there'd be basically a set of colours along one side. If you're going to do a composition with a set of colours like that, it's always good to put an opposing colour, one of the opposing colours in, because just as a sort of a slight highlight or a just as an accent colour, because it really makes these ones pop. Otherwise you end up with something that's just those tones, and people's eyes aren't particularly excited by that. They want something that's got a bit of contrast, gives it more contrast. But yeah, so that's a basic start of a colour wheel. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you next time. Take care.